Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
One team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the north. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Alvarez. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Bahamas joins the world in mourning the death of Catholic leader Pope Francis, the nation's chief and the local Catholic community reflecting on his life and legacy. Ahead of schedule, after months of construction, the Prime Minister assessing the scope of works and construction of the new Kit Allen International Airport. In sports, Carifta Championships winding down. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Welcome to the broadcast. The Bahamas among countries paying tribute on the passing of Pope Francis today. The Pope's death was announced from the Vatican this morning by Cardinal Kevin Farrell. He said Pope Francis died at 7:35 local time in Rome, which is 1:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until a new pope is chosen, Farrell will act as a head of the Vatican. Pope Francis suffered from ill health in recent times, but just yesterday on Easter Sunday, he gave the traditional Easter blessing at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The exact circumstances of his death are yet to be disclosed, but Italian media has reported it was caused by a brain-related issue, likely a stroke. Catholic Archbishop of Nassau, Patrick Pender, remembers Pope Francis for his simplistic and refreshing approach.
On Holy Thursday, we have a special liturgy, which includes the washing of the feet, following the command of Christ to show our love for one another by service to one another. And one of the things he did was he never, ever celebrated that liturgy in the splendor of a basilica, but he always did it at some place where those who wouldn't be able to have had access to that liturgy to be present, places like detention centers and prisons and so forth. And in fact, one of his last visits really was to Regina Coeli prison in Rome itself. So he had a tremendous love and compassion for those on the margins of society.
Well, the Catholic Archbishop says we as Bahamians should also never forget the way Pope Francis came to our aid following one of the country's worst disasters.
In response to Hurricane Dorian, he actually assisted our archdiocese with a very generous gift to help us in the rebuilding of the church in Treasure Key, Abaco, which was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. So certainly his touch, his impact was very, very real among us. And not only among Catholics, I think the world over people saw his simple style, his humble style, his way of actually reaching out to everyone in the most imaginative ways as something that has left a mark, certainly locally as well as globally.
Statement of condolences has been issued from the Office of the Prime Minister. On behalf of Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, it states, I join the global community in mourning the passing of His Holiness Pope Francis, a spiritual shepherd whose life was marked by humility, courage, and a deep commitment to humanity. The Prime Minister referencing Pope Francis as having a heart for the poor and suffering. The statement notes Pope Francis went beyond leading the Catholic Church, opening its doors wider with his papacy, recentering the church's moral voice on the teachings of Jesus Christ, which is love without exception, mercy without condition, and service without reward. Joining Prime Minister Davis sending condolences on the Pope's passing was Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell.
Early this morning to the Roman Catholic Archbishop of the Bahamas, Patrick Pinder, to express the condolences of the government and people of the Bahamas. An important moral voice is now silent. He was a champion for the dispossessed, the poor, the oppressed. And more importantly, in the Bahamian context, he was a champion for the rights of small island developing states, which the Bahamas is one, in the fight for climate justice.
Local Catholics also responding to the death of Pope Francis. Danielle Dean has a story.
Pope Francis's death, which allegedly came after a stroke followed by heart failure on Easter Monday, has garnered much attention and condolences, even by locals.
No one ever thought that he would have been selected. Never before was there a pope from the New World or from Latin America or of that heritage being a leader of billions of faithful around the world. And so I knew he was going to be a different pope. And we knew he was different because he was the first pope to select the name Francis.
His name chosen in honor of St. Francis of Assisi, an Italian poet and philanthropist characterized by a profound love and concern for the welfare of animals, nature, and human beings. Arthur Johnson, member of St. Francis Xavier Cathedral, one of them.
It's a great loss for the Catholic community here in the Bahamas, and of course the world. Pope Francis being Pope within the last now maybe 10 years or so, was on the verge of doing a lot of changes within the Catholic faith throughout the world.
Back in 2021, Pope Francis changed church law to formally allow women to serve as altar servers and readers of liturgies. But Ambassador to the Holy See, His Excellency Joseph Curry, says his multiple in-person interactions with the religious leader proved the Pope to be warm and sincere.
Every time he greeted me with such grace and always with a smile and a welcome. And even when he would have been reminded as to the office that I hold, the Bahamas, he just automatically break into a beautiful smile. It's fond memory of what the Bahamas perhaps represents.
His Excellency Ambassador Curry remembers our country held a special place in Pope Francis's heart. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, the process by which a new pope is elected has undergone numerous changes in the nearly 2 millennia that the Catholic Church has existed, with the current procedure a combination of ancient traditions and modern updates. Take a look. The death of Pope Francis sets into motion a series of formalized rites and observances. A traditional 9 days of mourning commences, including the Pope's funeral, which per tradition is held within 4 to 6 days of his death. Typically, papal funerals and burials are held at St. Peter's, but Pope Francis had said that unlike his predecessors, he will be buried in Rome's St. Mary Major Basilica. He also chose a simple wooden casket, a far cry from his predecessors who would be laid to rest in 3 interlocking caskets made of cypress, lead, and oak. Within 15 to 20 days of the Pope's death, 135 eligible members of the 252 cardinals are summoned to Rome to prepare for the secret conclave of electing a new pope inside the Sistine Chapel. The College of Cardinals will cast as many as 4 ballots in a single day for the new pope, with a 2/3 majority required to elect a pontiff. After each vote, the ballots are burned and smoke is released from the Sistine Chapel's chimney as a signal to the thrones holding vigil in St. Peter's Square. Black smoke indicates an inclusive vote, while white smoke will signify that a new pope has been elected. If 3 days pass with no pope elected, voting can be suspended for a day to allow the cardinals time for reflection before the next round of ballots are cast. Once the College of Cardinals elects a new pope, the candidate is formally asked in the Sistine Chapel if he accepts the election, and if so, to choose his papal name.
While popes have the option of keeping their baptismal name, every pope for the last 470 years has chosen to change his name, usually to honor a predecessor and to signal their intention to emulate his example. The process ends when the newly elected pope makes his first public appearance in his new role, stepping onto the central balcony at St. Peter's Basilica, overlooking St. Peter's Square, to bless the gathered crowd there after being introduced by the senior cardinal deacon with the traditional declaration, "We have a pope." Potential successors to Pope Francis includes Ghana's Peter Turkson, who would be the first black pope, Louis Tegel of the Philippines, who would be the first Asian pope, and Hungary's Peter Erdo.
Well, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more after this.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Hi everyone, when heading to Florida to shop for your essentials, book your transportation with GoGoFlorida.com. The $100 cash deposit is back now on your debit card. Accepted at Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Now there are lots of options to choose from, but I like the Tesla X, the electric vehicle, because I don't have to worry about gassing up. Or the Jeep Compass seating 5 with lots of space for your luggage or shopping bags. For the best deals, book now at GoGoFlorida.com, BahamasAir.com, and also available at Bahamas Air Sales Office.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Welcome back. Well, in just a matter of months, picturesque New Blightcat Island will have a new airport. Workmen now busy constructing solar panels, outfitting the new facility with modern lighting and plumbing fixtures. A new state-of-the-art fire station also being constructed. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis recently assessed the scope of works in New Blightcat Island over the weekend.
This is the New Bight International Airport that's now being constructed. It's been long in the making. And I want to thank the contractor, AM contractor, Bishop Broker, who has been very assiduous in ensuring that this work move. I'm impressed today at how far he has come since I last came. He's moving like lightning speed, and it seems as though he'll be quite ahead of schedule if things continue to move as he is doing it. And as you can see, the roof is coming on.
Well, the new airport will serve as a port of entry with customs and immigration services. It will also mark the return of foreign air service to the island, attracting new investment opportunities. The Member of Parliament for Kit Island says a multi-million-dollar investment is providing a new frontier for the historic settlement.
This is truly going to be an international airport. It could also be a hub for some of the southeastern islands where airlines could come here, and what I call the smaller commuter airlines can pick up passengers to take to other islands to the south. This is truly international, and this aspect of it is to ensure that we get the proper ICAO rating for this total airport. Have air traffic controller space, have space for fire engines, administration building with all the necessary components to ensure that it meets the standards that's required of the ICAO to be at least a tier 1 airport.
Those ancient cannons lining the side of West Bay Street have been temporarily removed for a much-needed facelift. The Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Corporation partnered with John Watling's Distillery to remove the 4 cannons known as a water battery on Long Wharf for restoration before repositioning them back there. According to historic records, while the water battery dates back to the late 1700s, the cannons date to Victorian times and was said to be mounted on Long Wharf during the 1850s, serving as a defense mechanism for Fort Charlotte. The restoration process includes replacing concrete pad platforms with authentic caissons and traveling forges that allow a cannon to be moved, turned, and faced in the direction of its target. These treasured artifacts were destroyed by a dangerous vehicle mishap, and the initial transformation phase is anticipated to take about 2 months to complete.
They damaged the first one, they broke the lamp pole in two, smashed the carriages on this third one. The cannon, because it's cast iron and several hundred pounds, it's still in one piece.
We need to rebuild the carriages that the cannons sit on, so those need to come in. We're having brand new ones made, and yeah, basically the entire site's going to be beautified. These cannons have been here for well over 150 years, and the actual carriages or the site has been here for more than 200 years. So it's important to respect our historical places and have a place that both tourists and local Bahamians can enjoy.
The Africa Caribbean Business and Trade Show will take place April 22nd and 23rd at the Labadie Beach Hotel in Ghana. A Bahamian delegation led by Chairman of the Bahamas Trade Commission, Senator Barry Griffin, along with West End MP and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Grand Bahama, Kingsley Smith, were draped in Ghana regalia upon their arrival. The event has been fully endorsed by the Office of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Mahama. Well, Junkanoo participating in the Because He Lives Junkanoo Rush Up this Easter Monday. The parade, which attracted participants from all the major Junkanoo groups, is designed to take Junkanoo to the people, with the route starting from East Street and Wolf Road and ending on Nassau Street through over-the-hill communities. Organizers say the initiative is all about taking the word of God to residents during this Easter season. Started back in 2008, the Junkanoo Rush Out is now a fixture on the country's Easter calendar. Well, for South Beach residents today, a bittersweet one as they came together for an Easter community gathering happening just hours after the passing of Pope Francis. Member of Parliament for the area back his role, taking a moment to remember the fallen leader of the Catholic Church just one day after the resurrection of Christ.
Condolences to the entire Catholic family on the passing of the Pope. Just a tragic situation. However, this is Easter. This is new birth. This is a time for fresh and new ideas and springtime. And so hopefully they come out and they enjoy themselves. This will definitely lighten the load.
Well, South Beach MP also highlighting the gathering as a moment for community bonding, recreation, and clean fun.
It's really an opportunity for the community to come out and enjoy themselves on the first official day of the beach. We got it right this year. Tide is coming up, and so we anticipate some people out here, some kids out here in the water, people out here just enjoying themselves. It's going to be a wonderful day for us out here on South Beach.
Sure looks like they had a lot of fun. Stay with us. Sports is up next.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Focall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this brings great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve
when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Good evening. Hope you're having a great Easter Monday holiday. It's time for sports. It's the final sessions in swimming and track and field of the Carifta Games over there in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's go poolside first with Shane Stubbs.
This 2025 Carifta update from Trinidad and Tobago brought to you by KFC Nassau, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, Comfort Suites Paradise Island, Original Patties, Water and Sewerage, and the Dalbinas Agency.
There was no letting up for Team Bahamas on night 2 of the 38th Carifta Aquatics Championships as they maintain control of the standings headed into day 3. The 6 straight champs sit in first place with a total of 479 points. Jamaica trails in second with 388.5 points. Host country Trinidad and Tobago follows in third with 333 points. And rounding out the top 4 so far is the Cayman Islands with 258.5 points. Highlighting the gold medal haul individually were the 11-12 swimmers Sienna Campbell and Dexter Russell. Campbell got the medal haul started, securing gold in the 200-meter freestyle relay.
I'm very happy and proud and super excited to win another gold for Team Bahamas. We are doing very good. I see a lot of gold medals. I see a lot of people going on the podium, and I'm very proud of that.
Russell, on the other hand, would swim away with the gold medal in the 50-meter butterfly.
I know I had to push hard. I saw the person on the side of me. He looked very fast on the side of me. I know that he was trying to beat me, and I wanted the record very badly, so I know just to keep my head down going into the wall.
Other notable performances included Dindin McKenzie capturing gold in the 13-14 girls fly. The gold rush didn't stop there as Team Bahamas rallied to end the evening on a high note in the 400-meter medley relays. The team of Sienna Campbell, Samaya Roll, Taylor Nichols, and Isabella Monroe came through winning gold in the 11-12 girls 400-meter medley relay. Kai Bastian, Logan Camacho, Dexter Russell, and Dakari Cooper led Team Bahamas to gold in the 11-12 boys category. Dindin McKenzie, Kamea Sanders, Celeste Gibson, and Skylar Smith secured gold in the 13-14 girls age group. The Bahamas finished the evening with a total of 36 medals, 12 gold, 13 silver, and 11 bronze. Trinidad sits in second with a total of 24. The Cayman Island holds 19, and Jamaica has a total of 28.
We were going in there seated first, and we held it down. Obviously, relays are double points, so very big. We were able to execute well, and gain our points where we needed. And I'm sure it really added to our lead.
And now it's on to day 3, where Team Bahamas hopes to widen their gap as they aim for their 7th straight title. From Trinidad and Tobago, I'm Shane Stubbs. Take it away, Michelle.
Thanks, Shane. Day 2 of the 2025 Carifta Games in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago seeing the Bahamas add 12 more medals to their tally, including 4 golds to the tape. Bahamas going 1 and 2 in the girls under 17 long jump. Zay Johnson taking gold with a leap of 6.07 meters. Trey Forbes would take the silver with the best jump of 5.85. Both girls just 14 years old.
I felt amazing that we bring in first and second back to our country. It felt good because us being the only 14-year-olds on the team, we came and showed them that age doesn't matter. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
A few more medals in the field, and Mackey would throw a new personal best in the girls under 20 shot put with a heave of 17.14 meters. William McKinney upgraded from a bronze in the boys under 17 long jump to take silver with a leap of 7.39 meters. Still on the field, Obadiah Cherazar leaping to a silver in the boys under 17 high jump. His best jump, 1.95 meters. Also picking up a silver in the boys under 20 high jump would be last year's under 17 champ Joshua Williams with a leap of 2 meters. The 400-meter hurdles in the under 17 division with the Bahamian hurdlers would show that they are in a class of their own. Girls under 17, Samara Crawley, get familiar with that name. She would surge past the rest of the field and take gold in 102.85. On the boys' side, this one was never in question. Jakario Wilson with a precursor to the nightcap, taking gold in the boys under 17 division in 52.44. The final races of the night, the 4x1s, and these certainly would get the crowd out of their seats. Boys under 17, 4x1, Jamal DeLoach, the aforementioned Jakario Wilson, Jamari Moss, and behind a strong anchor leg from 400-meter gold medalist Egan Neely, the Bahamas shocking the field and beating Jamaica, storming to gold in 44.11.
Going into this race, I know I'm not the best starter, so I know I had to get out to give my team a fighting chance. And going into this, we had no doubt in our mind that we were going to win. So I'm just glad that Egan pulled something magical out of him to help us execute this race.
Bahamas would tack on 2 more silvers in the girls under 17 and under 20 4x1s. 242 would miss out on the chance to medal in all divisions after an exchange issue in the semis in the boys under 20 that would see the Bahamas register did not finish. Medal count after day 2 for the Bahamas, 23 total, 10 gold, 10 silver, and 3 bronze. 242 sits comfortably in second place at this year's games. Competition wrapping up tonight. Full day 3 highlights and final standings in Tuesday's Sportscast. For my cameraman Ashley Taylor, I'm Amajal Knowles signing out. ZNS Total Sports.
This 2025 Carifta update from Trinidad and Tobago was brought to you by KFC Nassau, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, Comfort Suites Paradise Island, Original Patties, Water and Sewerage, and the Dalbinas Agency.
Thanks a lot, Shane and Amajal. That's going to put a wrap on sports Easter Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It's a busy work week ahead. Get ready.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
Good evening, Desmond. Dry conditions continue around the islands as our live weather radar shows no echoes out there. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business. For the northwestern islands tonight through Tuesday, those winds are going to calm a bit easterly at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now the low tide will take place at 8:57 tonight with another low tide at 9:55 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands, we'll continue with those brisk winds. Out of the northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots, wave height still choppy at 4 to 6 feet. So we will maintain the caution flag for the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday. And then as we head into middle of the week on Wednesday, the winds become easterly, increasing once again in the northwestern islands. Wave heights rebuilding 3 to 6 feet, so the caution flags go back up. Low tide 10:48 in the morning on Wednesday with a high tide at 4:55 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, winds northeast at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet, so caution flags are also in place for the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday. And now it's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Now for your temperatures around the islands, Marshall Barbecue at 77 degrees, Grand Turtle Key 79 degrees. Here in Freeport, Grand Bahama, they have a temperature of 79 degrees. And as we take you a little further south, Allenstown, Bimini 77, the Berry Island 77 degrees, 77 also in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera 80 degrees, 82 in Otterstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma, and also in Camp Space at Andros. Fresh Creek Central Andros 81 degrees, 81s again in Georgetown, Exuma, Rum Key, and San Salvador. They have a temperature of 82 degrees. And in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island 79, 80 in Betsy Bay, 80 also in Acklands. Matthew Town, Inagua, 78 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Satellite pictures showing high pressure still in control of our weather, but we have some low-level clouds just to the north of us, some of it clipping Grand Bahama and the northern portion of the Abacos, but elsewhere we're going to look for mostly sunny days for the next several days. And our forecast tonight, mainly clear at first with some clouds developing late. That's particularly in the extreme northern Bahamas, with a low temperature around 71 degrees. And tomorrow, partly sunny, quite pleasant. High temperature 81 degrees. Extended weather forecast. The sunny days, dry conditions will be with us right through the weekend. And we're looking at those daytime temperatures holding in the low 80s, but they'll start to climb as we head into the weekend. So we'll see some warmer temperatures. And your nighttime temperatures, very little change in the nighttime temperatures. They will continue to stay in the low 70s. Desmond.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. On behalf of the entire team, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Monday.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.